Hello everyone, welcome to Beaver's Hobby Channel, and this is one of the most anticipated car I've ever had, BMR-X. This is just a short review and building tips. I want to spend more time with it and make sure that my fix will hold up, so the full review will come later. Now let's start with some driving footage. I like this car a lot. It is the second best out of the box handling for me. You can just build it according to the manual and it'll work. It is so controllable and easy to hold the slide. In case you are wondering what is my number one, it is the XRX DPA. Ranking aside, this BMR is a great car with very interesting design. It is the only 1/224 scale car with front motor layout at this moment. This car seems to be designed with perfect tolerance in mind. I'm sure that they have tested it in a CAD software or in a simulation, but that is never going to happen in the real world where we are living in. I suggest you prepare some M2 screws and washers before building it. And these are some building tips I can give you. First, make sure the steering can move freely. For example, I have a problem with this tube. It is supposed to fit in here, with the top sticking out a bit, like this. So when I tighten the screw down, the arm can swing freely. Unfortunately, the tolerance was not perfect when they machined it. So, on the left side, the tube just dropped through the hole. And if I tighten the screw down, it'll lock this arm and it can't move. So I had to replace the screw with a longer one so the arm can move. Next, the steering pole can come loose very easily, so I suggest you use a tiny bit of thread lock to secure it. Next, check the clearance on the servo arm. If this pole rubs against the top plate, then you'll need to insert some M2 washers on the bulkhead under the top plate. Otherwise, the servo will get stuck and you can potentially break it. You'll need to tap or bore every linkage. For that, you'll need M2 and M1.6 tapping heads. If you don't tap the linkages, they can form a crack line like this, and they will break eventually. The final drive ratio is higher than other cars, so you'll need a fast motor. I recommend you to start at 5500 kV. The gear mesh is difficult to set because you'll have to take the whole motor mount out to tighten the motor without the spur gear attached to it. So try and remember the motor position before you take it out to tighten the motor down. If you don't have M3 washers or shims with 3mm inner diameter, do not make the wheels the lowest offset. They won't work either at the front or at the back, because the wheels will rub against the steering arms and the ball caps. I made this mistake at the front, so I have to use thicker bearings and a lot of shims to push the wheels out more than 1mm. The middle one is the lowest offset you can do without using any shims. The main weak point of this car is the rear axle. The drive cuffs can break if they are under stress or being pushed out from the inside. So first, you'll need to adjust the downstopper on each side, so the ride height isn't too high. I also cover it with shrink tube and glue it in to hold it together. This is a 5mm shrink tube. And the glue is the yellow Yoo-hoo glue. Apply the glue lightly so it doesn't rip and go into other parts of the car. You can use any tube with 6mm inner diameter to cover the drive cuffs so they won't break. I choose to use shrink tube because it is what I have and because it is light so it won't stress out the gearbox. And I'll wait and see if this can prevent the rear axle from breaking. Finally, this car is wide, so choose a body that is wide enough for it. Something with a wide body kit or over fender should be fine. As you can see here, my skyline is much too narrow for it, but I'll try and make it work, so this should be fun. And that's pretty much it. Before I go, I would like to remind you that no matter how good the car is, you'll still need to practice, so don't lose hope and keep on drifting. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.